Welcome back, you guys. This is your girl, Wicked Raider 22, feeling a little better, sounding just a bit better. But this is one of those videos that I just wanted to slide in with a couple of opinions and definitely hear back from you as well. If there has ever been a faction that, as a beginning player, I really thought would come in and hit extremely hard, it had to be Shadowkin. And I'll be honest, as great as some of these champions look, guys, I'm just waiting for the opportunity to play around with the legendaries. But as I'm speaking, I am speaking honestly about a couple of the epics. And as we come down to the rares as well, some of these champions, I think, are judged really, really quickly. But like all things, it kind of depends on where you are in the game. I have had the opportunity after playing around with a few accounts of realizing that a lot of my champions will be 5-star champions. That's about as far as I'm going to take them. The champion I wanted to bring up today in particular is going to be Lifetaker. I've seen a couple of accounts, especially in beginning arena, with this particular champion. And as you guys notice now, they are showing all 6-star, all red, fully awakened stats on all of your particular champions. And this is one that aesthetically looks amazing. I mean, check my girl out. She looks pretty awesome. I am really feeling the outfit. But go over to reviews. I always like to take a look. Her reviews are pretty solid across the board. There are a couple of areas that are a little bit lower: Spider's Den, Arena, Offense and Defense, Demon Lord, Ice Golem. But she's going to be one of those mid champions. And the question is, why? I am currently in, I believe, hard stage campaign. I have her on a team with Elhain. I've had her with Deliana. I think I'm running Ultimate Death Knight right now. And she can definitely get in there and do a nice little percentage of damage. But the impression when you look at these champions compared to the amount of damage they're putting out, guys, across the board, it doesn't line up for this particular champ. So let's look at her kit real quick. She has Bleeding Serum, attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Now, skills like this become really important, especially, for example, when you're in the Spirit Keep and you're running into a boss or an enemy that is able to continuously heal or even revive. So when you start getting to those upper level teams, you notice you're getting excited. This champion is about to go down. And then all of a sudden they heal themselves by 50 or 75%. It's one of the quickest ways to literally just deflate your gameplay overall. So I'm liking the first part. I'm not impressed with the attack one enemy 2 times. There are a lot of champions that fall into the category. I am more of a multi-hitter for the majority of my champions, but not too bad. And the other thing is, it doesn't require a bunch of books. So far, so good. Now, this is where we start getting a little bit more in depth. Leg bind, which is at level 1, attacks one enemy 3 times. Not bad. Each hit has a 50% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 10%. The third hit has a 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. It starts out on that 4 turn. You can take it down to a 3-turn cooldown, which a 3-turn cooldown at this point in the game is kind of becoming the standard. Not really happy with the amount of books that you have to apply to this, but you can do a damage increase of 10% and also a buff debuff chance increase of 25%. Last but not least, we come to that third skill, Diamond Body Level. Places a veil buff on this champion for 1 turn and a 30% reflect buff on this champion for 2 turns. There's been a lot of questions about veil. And actually, I think I'm going to do a nice little series on, all the things that pop up in green and exactly what they mean. So we'll get there. Now, this can be put on a 3-turn cooldown as well. It allows her to avoid attack to a certain degree, also reflect a nice percentage of damage. Wish the 30 was more like 50, would be a little bit better, more impressive. She is an attack-based champion, an attack-based rare. And I'm pretty sure if you are doing faction wars, for example, if you've come to one of those rare rooms in Dungeon Tower, she may be one that comes to mind if you happen to already have her on your team. Now, as far as rares, she would pretty much be the only other rare I've dealt with, though I did have Vagabond. And this is one of those champions that a lot of people were extremely high on for a nice amount of time. And I could see why. Aesthetically, we're coming again, kind of creepy, but nice. I gotta say, like, y'all, really, really, faces. Like, attention to detail was pretty nice here. Not very many reviews, but as you can see, the community is not giving too much love, pretty mediocre. But Vagabond was always listed as a support champ. So Dreamer's Curse was going to be that first skill, attacks one enemy. They're real big in this faction about attacking one enemy. And there are so many one-hit wonders, is what I guess I kind of think of them as. These are the champions that kind of get left in the dust because speed-wise, we're at 94, but, you know, let's just keep going. Has a 20% chance of placing a sleep debuff for 1 turn. I am not huge on sleep. I have a couple of champions that do have that ability. It can definitely come in handy if you're dealing with a team that's a little stronger than you so that you can slow down those attacks. You have the Ominous Visit. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a block buffs debuff for 1 turn. Also fills this champion's turn meter by 15% and fills the turn meter of the ally with the highest turn meter by 15%. Now, this can become pretty interesting as well. It's always nice to have a turn meter manipulator and someone that can pour into your team as well. So we can get it down to a 3-turn cooldown. It's an okay kind of skill, comes in and can definitely come in during a clutch moment. Join the troop, 3rd skill in, fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% and places a 25% increased attack buff on all enemies for 2 turns. Now, I do love that Vagabond has that 2nd and 3rd skill that will kind of manipulate or work with the turn meter. That for me is a priority, especially the deeper you start going into the game itself. So it's one of the things you like to see. You can put it on a 3-turn cooldown. So as far as if Vagabond is on a team, for example, with a Deliana for a lot of our beginning players, because she is the queen of debuffs, they get a nice little rotation depending on what position you may place Vagabond in if Deliana is still your leader. The aura is going to increase ally accuracy in arena battles by 30. Vagabond is actually one of those you don't see as often in arena. I think it's pretty much based on the amount of damage that Vagabond is able to do. And at her level in particular, there are so many champions that can technically do it a little bit better. There are some gray areas in every faction. There are also going to be areas of limitation. And these are definitely champions you could also put on different teams in various scenarios and probably get a little bit more out of. But tell me, what faction has more champions that are underwhelming than you expected? Or are these 2 champions, Lifetaker and Vagabond, that you actually find yourself using more often than not? What gear are you running them in? Those are all the questions that I'm thinking, and I would love to hear back from you guys. If you stuck around with me for this long, go ahead and be sure to subscribe. We post content every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Always looking to interact with everyone because, hey, the opinion of a beginner is only as good as the experience that's in front of them. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.